Welcome to the ninth day of Christmas. We're moving along. We got 3 days left. So today is the ninth day of Christmas. And on the ninth day of Christmas, we are focusing on prioritizing each other, right? You want to prioritize your partner. Prioritizing each other has to do with being intentional about your intention. That's really it. Being intentional about your attention, right? Intentional about where you place your attention, intentional about the attention that you intentional about the attention you give your partner, right? Prioritizing your partner. When you prioritize each other, it creates a more loving atmosphere so that your love messages can flow more freely. What's a love message? A love message is obviously I love you, but love messages is, whenever so when I call love messages, I'm talking about your behavior, something that you do that communicates love and care to your partner, whether that's running an errand for them, folding clothes for them because they was going to do it and they ran out of time, or whatever the case, right? Prioritizing in being intentional about your attention towards your partner. Now, when I talk about prioritizing your partner, I'm talking about prioritizing each other. That's how you prioritize your marriage, right? So your marriage has to come first. Like, I don't think it's an accident that God created marriage first. It's the first institution that God created. And do you realize marriage is actually the only relationship that God himself created? We created all the other relationships. They stem from marriage. But God created marriage himself, and it was first. And I don't know if that's why marriage doesn't work if it's not first, but marriage don't work if it's not first. Yeah, if marriage is not your number one priority, marriage will suffer. Marriage has to come before. And when I say your marriage is about, so let me tell you what marriage is, by the way. Your marriage is about your giving to your partner. Your marriage is not about you receiving. Their marriage is about you receiving. Like, have that mindset. So your marriage, so you want to make it a priority. Your priority, your spouse to prioritize your marriage means to prioritize your partner, means they come before your children, right? They have to come before your job. They have to come before your hobbies, and they come before your friends. Right? Your partner is first. Now, what does that mean? That does not mean you have to wrap your life around their life. Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that putting your partner first means all of a sudden you're not in control of your life. They get to dictate and tell you whatever they want to do. So if they want to go out Saturday, you got to go out every Saturday. If they want to do church on Sundays at 10 o'clock, you got to do 10, not 8. Right? You got to wear what they want to wear. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, that's called control. I am anti-control because love cannot thrive in control. Okay. But when you prioritize, it's just, again, being intentional at the forefront of your mind. What's best for them? And when you become the person, that's why I say develop this skill. But when you become the person where that's just an automatic, you don't have to think about it much. See, when we first get married, prioritizing our partner or prioritizing our marriage, it's pretty easy. Like, we just left the wedding. And we're still on an emotional high, like, we're very delicate and cutesy with each other. Oh, let me get that for you, babe. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We're so careful. But then over time, as time, we start to move out of that euphoria phase into the reality phase, and then start inching towards the offense phase, phase 3, then prioritizing our partner now becomes a chore. But let me share this with you. Just because it's a chore doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Okay. The reason it's a chore is not because it's a bad thing. It's because you're a human being, and by nature, we're selfish. And so the selfish part of you wants to do only what pleases you. But you have to prioritize your partner. That may feel like a chore. That don't mean it's bad. Like I tell folk, I keep telling y'all, love is a burden. So the burden of putting your partner first, it may be a burden, but it should not make you unhappy. If serving your partner makes you unhappy, you got a different issue. Like for real. If prioritizing your partner makes you feel some kind of way, you have an issue. Now, you got an issue. I'm not gonna go deep on that. You want to work that out, right? But you want to prioritize your marriage, especially when life gets busy. See, life can get busy to the point to where we're like two ships passing in the night, and we're not even fighting, right? You don't want to get to that place, because when you get there, even though you're not fighting, there's still a foothold for the enemy to get in and sow discord between y'all. And you don't want that, right? So you prioritize your conversation, right? Prioritize connecting with each other. What do I mean by that? Be intentional about the time that y'all connect, right? Be intentional about telling your partner how you feel about them. Be intentional about talking about how y'all parent together. I get a lot of clients who they fight a lot about how they should be parenting, right? But let me tell you some of the things that you should be prioritizing in your marriage. Hold on, let me pull this other thing up real quick. All right, yeah. So when your partner, so here's some things. Let's just start this whole thing over. Welcome to the 9th day of Christmas. We are on day number 9. Man, we've been doing this for 9 days. We got 3 more days before we get to the 12th day of Christmas. That's going to be this Friday. By the way, let me say this now. If you're watching this, I'm having a free workshop at the end of these 12 days. It's going to be this Saturday, January the 6th at 10 a.m. It's completely free, but you got to register. So you can register at the link below. And what I'm going to do a little deeper dive on these 12 and give you an opportunity to ask some questions. Okay, because I know some of these I didn't talk about, like how to do this, how to do that, and I want to give you that opportunity to ask those questions. So join me Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time, and we'll get your questions answered. So today on the 9th day of Christmas, what are we talking about? We are talking about prioritizing your partner. Yeah, prioritizing each other. See, marriage doesn't work well when it's not first. In order for your marriage to thrive, your marriage has to be at the forefront of your mind. That means when you are a married person, the way that you operate is always with your mind, your marriage in view, right? You don't act. Sometimes when you first get married, it may be difficult for some people to transition from single to, being attached. But actually, most people, they're better at prioritizing their marriage or prioritizing their partner in the beginning, because like you just come from the wedding and everything, you're still high. And so, you're still kind of feeling each other out, really. And so it looks like it's easier to prioritize each other, but really you're probably still just operating on euphoria. Once you get to stage 2 and reality starts to set in, and then stage 3, where the stage of offense, talking about stages of marriage. When you get to the 3rd stage, then it becomes a little bit more difficult to prioritize your partner, right? See, when I'm feeling good and when I'm excited about you, I'm always thinking about you. When you first fell in love, didn't you think about your partner all the time? Like, even if you didn't let them know, they were always on your mind. But I have some news for you. You know why they was on your mind? They were on your mind so much, not really because of the love you have for them. They were on your mind because of how they made you feel. But what you don't realize is the way you feel, most of it is because of you, not them. But I'm not going. Why'd I throw water on your fire and then run away? I don't know, because I'm not going to deal with that. But that's true. It probably wasn't because you were in love. But the point is, now that you're in the marriage, and we've been going for some years now, right? You need to prioritize your marriage. Keep your marriage a priority. Keep your partner a priority. What does that mean? That means your job, your marriage and your partner comes before your job. Your marriage and your partner comes before your children. Your marriage comes before your friends. Your marriage comes before your hobbies, right? I have a hobby I love doing woodworking. I told my wife the other day, when we become rich, I'm still gonna do woodworking. I'm gonna have the most amazing woodworking shop that I can build because that's my hobby. Like some folk have golf, some folk have gaming. I got woodworking. But guess what? My woodworking hobby can't come before my wife. And so, some of you listening to me, you may be thinking, no, nothing is before my partner. Like my partner is number one. You say that in theory, but can I look at your marriage without you saying anything? Like if I could pull up a video of a 6-month period of your marriage, can I look at that video with no sound and determine you are making your partner a priority? See, it's about your behavior. It's not about what you think you're doing. It's not about what you want to be doing, but what are you actually doing, right? What are you actually doing to make your partner know, hey, you're the most important thing in my life, right? When life gets busy, you might have to plan quality time. You might have to plan some quality time. That's called making your marriage a priority. Because watch this. If you don't make it a priority, you won't fit it in. When you try to do life and just fit marriage in or fit your partner in, I promise you, more times than not, your marriage and your partner is going to end up on the short end. And that's going to cost you in the long run, right? So what does it mean to make your partner a priority? Like, what does that look like? So remember, marriage is about giving. Your marriage is about you giving your love to them. Your marriage is not about you receiving love. That's their marriage. Okay. So your marriage is about giving. So when I say make your partner a priority, prioritize serving your spouse. Make that at the forefront of your mind. What does that mean? That means I'm doing life, but as I'm doing life, my radar is always on to look for opportunities to serve. Not look for jobs, because serving my wife is not a job. I may not like it sometimes, but it ain't a job, right? It may be hard sometimes, but it ain't a job. It may not be comfortable, it may not be fun, but it's not a job, okay? It's an assignment, it's service, right? So prioritize your service to your partner. Also, prioritize helping make your partner life better, your partner's life better. Prioritize making or not making. I want to make sure I use the correct words. Prioritize helping make your partner's life better. You cannot make your partner's life better, but you can help, right? Sometimes you help them by not hindering, because you've been married so long and all you've been doing is hindering. If you just change that can be seen as, okay, they're prioritizing me. They're not hindering me no more. But really, I want you to get to the place to where you are helping to make their life better. For example, so one way that I try to make my wife's life better. Because I'm a therapist, right? I share with her relational things that most folk don't know as far as how relationships work. I share with my wife insights about the Bible that she never saw. Right? Because I grew up in church, she didn't. So this is me helping her do life better. Now, I offer, if she don't take it, that's on her, right? So if whatever you're serving your partner, however you're helping them, if they don't receive it, that's not on you. But make it your business to be intentional about service and helping them do life better. Okay? When your partner has an issue or a concern, make it your concern too. Right? When your partner has an issue, make it your issue, because they're important to you. And if you are the issue, then fix you. If you're the issue that your partner has, because you love them, work on the issue. That's called making your partner a priority. Now watch this. The opposite of priority is what I talked about as far as just fitting them in. When it's not a priority, it's an option. You cannot treat your partner like they're an option. So marriage itself will begin to fail, but your partner specifically. We can tell when folk treat us like an option. You don't like it when you're treated like an option, right? So don't do that. Don't 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 set up your life and then try to, "Hey, I got 10 minutes for you here. Let me sit down and talk. You want to talk to me real quick? Okay, go. I'm gonna time you." You can't, like, who, no one wants to be in, well, I don't want to be in a marriage like that. And I presume you don't want to either, right? Now, here's something else you need to prioritize, because we're talking about loving your partner, right? I mean, we're talking about marriage, and so it's all got to be about love, and we're talking about prioritizing. I want you to prioritize your partner's emotional health. Yeah. Be intentional about the love and care that you give. That's how you prioritize their emotional health, by making sure you're not the one that's stressing them out, by making sure that you make it safe for them to share with you, by making sure, again, that your love and your care is intentional. You're making their emotional health a priority. Make their life experience a priority. Right? The way they experience life on the planet, make that a priority. Again, like, I may need to say this to my wife. Hey, I'm trying to make your life experience better when I do this, but I'm extremely silly, right? I'm always trying to make my wife laugh. And that's just a little small thing, right? But it's part of my duty so I am being me, but that being me is also helping her enjoy life better. And that's, like, again, that's a small thing, right? That ain't really, anybody can make her laugh. But I'm taking responsibility in doing that. Another thing, like I said before, as far as like teaching her things or showing her things. Do you know in the Bible, it was the husband's responsibility to teach his wife about God? So like I said before, my wife doesn't know the Bible the way that I do. So one way that I make her life experience a priority and try to make it better is by not only teaching her about God, but teaching her about faith, teaching her how to live Christ-like, teaching her how to be patient, teaching her what grace is, right? But not only that, helping her discover her own dreams, supporting her dreams. When she said she wanted to join the sorority, like, I'm with you, right? When you make your partner a priority, they will be able to feel it, or at least they should be. If they can't, maybe some other stuff going on. But as much as it depends on you, let them know through your actions, not necessarily through your words, that they are a priority for you, right? Prioritize, like I said, I already said, prioritize addressing your partner's concerns, but also prioritize you guys spending quality time away from the house. Now, I wish I could take this part, if I'm gonna be honest, wish I could take this part and like put it, you know how when you post on Facebook and you can say, I don't want these people to see this, right? I wish I could make my wife not see this part, because I ain't done a good job at this. I have not done a good job at prioritizing quality time with my wife outside the house, particularly in the last 6 months. I've been focused on work, which is not a good thing, which is how I know for sure that's not something you want to do, because you're going to pay for it later, right? Prioritize spending quality time with your partner outside the house, especially if y'all got kids. And I've met couples who are new to Houston, got little kids, and don't know anybody. Y'all better find somebody. You better find somebody to watch those kids, because y'all need time together. Y'all need time to decompress, to get away, and maybe not even talk about problems, right? Just go have fun. Talk about the problems when you get back, right? Let's make that a thing in 2024. Have a lot of fun, and then talk about our issues. I think I probably need to teach that more. Don't do that just yet. Let me think about it and give you some more instruction. But let's do something different in 2024, right? But anyway, real short video. That's all I got for you for today. Prioritize each other. Do not let your partner feel like they are an option for you. Now, if they don't tell you they feel like that, ain't nothing you can do. But if you know that you're not living up to the bar, or if they tell you, hey, I feel like, I feel disconnected. I feel like you're not really into me. I feel like you're not making me a priority. Don't ignore that. Don't defend yourself, first of all. Hear what they're saying, because regardless of what you think you're doing, obviously it's not getting to them. So find out why and address their issue. Okay? So on the 9th day of Christmas, I want you to make sure that you work on the skill of prioritizing each other in your marriage. Now, you don't want to miss tomorrow. So in all these videos, I have not given you like what I'm talking about tomorrow, but this one I am. Okay, if you stay to the end, Tomorrow, I'm talking about working on the skill of sex and lovemaking. You don't want to miss it. All right, that's good for me.